Bene, bienvenidos chicos al primer Let's Play que voy a hacer en este canal. Bueno, el gameplay de la Barbie no cuenta, este va a ser un poquito más serio. El juego que traigo es el Broken Sword 5, La Maldición de la Serpiente. ¿Por qué va a ser el primero? Pues porque el Broken Sword es una saga que he jugado desde pequeño, la verdad. El 1 y el 2 lo jugué en mi infancia y son impresionantes. El 3 lo tengo en la Play 2 y es, bueno, más que aceptable. Al igual que pasó con el Monkey Island, el 1 y el 2 son la hostia y el 3 fue como... Luego el 4 del Monkey Island es una mierda y por lo tanto el Broken Sword 4 de aquí lo empecé, pero caca. Pero lo dejé a medias y toda la mierda. Bueno, lo malo de este juego, que me jode muchísimo, es que tiene inglés, alemán y francés en diálogos. Porque el francés, sí, el español e italiano nos lo mandan a tomar por culo, siempre. El español e italiano, que le jodan. Como otras de mis sagas preferidas, en el Kingdom Hearts de la 3DS, el español e italiano no estaban en subtítulos. Estamos hablando que lo doblen, que no pasa nada, sino que me lo subtitulen en español. Que eso fue una vergüenza, sinceramente. Pero bueno, lo juego en inglés igualmente, es un juegazo. Una pena. Entonces, bueno, está en inglés, es una pena que no esté en español, porque, bueno, en el doblaje en español, la voz del protagonista, George Stobart, era impresionante. Era Tomás Rubio se llama. Tiene una voz un poco fea, no es que la voz en otros doblajes que ves pues son un poco mierdas, pero en este doblaje era impresionante, era una voz para este personaje muy chula, la verdad. Entonces es una pena. Así que vamos, voy a mirar los ajustes visuales, estilo subtítulos, sí, clásico, sí. Aviso de logros, sí, toma por culo. Idioma subtítulo español, claro, y el diálogo pues lo voy a coger en inglés. A mí cojo el francés y alemán me la suda. Pero bueno, realmente me la suda cualquiera. Pero voy a cogerlo en inglés porque... así aprendo inglés, ¿sabes? Toda la movida y esas cosas. Así que vamos a ver qué tal. Bueno, antes de nada decir que este es el episodio 1, que este juego lo dividió en dos partes, en dos episodios, y este es el primero. Vamos a ver si Charles Cecil ha vuelto a los inicios de esta saga. París en otoño. Con la frase esa de París en otoño empezaba el primer juego. Juegazo. ¡Ah, qué música, por Dios! Charles Cecil. Qué grande lo que has creado, cabrón. Broken Sword 5. La maldición de la serpiente. En el primer juego empezamos... la intro era con un cuervo sobrevolando París. Y en este juego comenzamos con un águila, una aguililla, creo que es un águila, sobrevolando, pues mira, Cataluña, en plena guerra civil encima. Cataluña, España, 1937. Bien, fascistas. Salid de vuestra casa, rojos, están rodeados. Hala, de puta madre, fascista menos. Protagonistas republicanos, de puta madre.
We must go now.
Ah, vale, no hay subtítulos. Papá.
Tiago, go with your mother to the trap.
Muy bien, no hay subtítulos en el vídeo,
Take this.
perfecto.
It will always be your guide.
Yes, Papa.
We will join you shortly.
Somos republicanos,
The painting.
pero hablamos en inglés.
La
Quita
maldición.
la pintura de... quita la pintura del cuadro. Así, sin más, sin marco ni hostias. Ahí tenemos fijo que al malo malísimo, o yo que sé.
This way.
Bien, la has dado.
Señora, it is too late. Go.
Que no, que tu padre va a morir, que es republicano, fusilado.
Senor, in here.
Hostia,
Search them.
parece... joder,
Of
no me viene el nombre del actor, da igual. Ahí estamos, París en la actualidad.
Paris in the spring. Passion, romance, l'amour. I was working in art insurance. It paid the rent, just about. And then, by chance, I met Nico at a private view.
You didn't tell me that you were back in Paris, George?
We should catch up. Let's have
Ahí tenemos a los...
Nobody move.
El pícero atracador. Todavía aparece el GTA V. Muy bien, Nico, que saca una foto.
Not la malédiction.
Bien, ala, uno muerto.
Stay back.
Otro se desmaya.
Once again, Paris had shown me her dark side.
Ahí va, y la otra detrás.
Brutal
Muy
robbery,
bien.
a senseless murder.
Muy bien, la otra detrás.
Nico and I were about to be drawn into a new and terrifying adventure together.
Bien. Todo comienza con un asesinato, como en el primero. Siempre comienza con un asesinato.
The gallery owner was dead.
Ah, ahora hay
I guess
subtítulos.
sometimes playing the hero doesn't pay. My company had insured the exhibition, so I had a crime to solve. The cops would be here soon. I didn't have much time.
Vale. A ver, cadáver de
The
Henry.
priest was giving last rites to the gallery owner. I didn't want to interfere.
Bien, no quieres molestar. A ver qué me dice.
Excuse me, Father.
Yes, my son.
I'm George Stobart. My company insured the exhibition.
My name is Simeon.
Is there anything I can do?
You can pray for his soul.
A senseless murder.
On the contrary, this killing makes plenty of sense.
What do you mean?
A great evil has taken place. This is the work of the devil.
Claro.
What?
I am a Dominican priest. I know these things.
Claro, claro.
And now, excuse me, I must pray.
1 minute, I'd been planning dinner with Nico. The next, I was talking art theft, murder, and the devil with a priest.
Es lógico, hay un asesinato, es culpa del diablo de toda la vida. Es el diablo, el mal. Oh, un chico.
It was a blob of chewed gum.
Vale, pues cógelo.
It was a blob of chewed gum.
Bueno, pues no lo cojas. A ver. Vamos a ver si despertamos al gordo este.
It was Hector Lane, France's greatest art critic. We'd met before. It hadn't ended well.
Ah, este en el
For a
Brothers
moment.
Gordos.
I thought he was
Right.
dead. But from the snoring, I guessed he'd only fainted.
Este tío en el Broken Sword 2 lo emborrachas al principio del juego para conseguir una cosa en un museo. Una cosa muy rara.
Lane was out cold.
Bueno, pero
I
las
was gonna need
bofetadas.
something to bring him around.
Alcohol, fijo. Borracho de mierda. No creo que tenga nada ahora que le haga despertar. A ver, en la caja de pizza a lo mejor queda un trozo de 4 quesos ahí.
The thief
puedo
left the
ver.
pizza box behind. I wondered what was in it.
Pues pizza, ¿ves?
Well,
¿Ves?
no surprise there. Pizza. The guy must have been hungry. There was only one slice left.
Vale, coge la pizza que queda. Muy bien, torpe de mierda. Déjala ahí, eso es. No fue culpa mía. Vamos a ver si lo despertamos al gordo. A lo mejor se despierta con un trozo de pizza. Ah, joder, esto va clic a clic.
I decided against stuffing cold pizza into an...
Bueno, pues no hagan nada. A ver. Vamos a tocarle el
The
busto.
bus was balanced precariously. I didn't want to knock it off.
Vale, pues muy bien. A ver. Aquí. Bueno, debería mirar a ver si hay algo en este tío. A lo mejor le puedo registrar. A ver, siempre. Ahí está. ¿Ves?
In
Colombia.
Henri's pocket was a tiny bottle. It was a bottle of Brett. The label claimed it would wake the beast within.
Bien, despertar la bestia interior. El tío que está desmayado es enorme. Ya es una bestia, entonces.
I didn't want Henri's blood on my hands.
Bueno, pues entonces no sé para qué me lo señales. Paquete no tiene nada. Oh, mira.
There was a small piece of paper in the dead man's hand. It was too intriguing not to take a look.
Bueno,
It
pues
read,
cógela.
2:30 p.m. Be ready. Innocent enough until I realized that the robbery took place at 2:30 p.m. There was something fishy going on around here, and it wasn't just the canapes. I quickly replaced the note.
Bien. Gafas.
He
Vamos.
definitely looked better.
Bien, eso es un poquito de respeto.
I put the glasses back where they were. Best to leave the evidence the way I found it.
Sí, mejor en su sitio. Bueno, yo creo que...
A cryptic note and a bottle of overpowering cologne. No personal effects or anything else of substance.
No,
I
vamos a
needed to
robar.
find where he kept his records.
¿Cómo que sus documentos? Ay, por Dios. No eres policía ni nada, pero hoy que no vamos a tocatear. Vamos a buscar los documentos. A ver aquí. Robaron el cuadro.
This was where the stolen painting had hung. Why that painting?
Bueno, porque era
And
republicano.
why kill for it?
Porque era republicano, ya lo he dicho.
The stolen painting had an alarm, which should have sounded when the painting was removed. I needed to find out why it hadn't.
Pues tampoco lo sé.
So that was why the alarm hadn't sounded. A wire had been cut by someone who knew exactly what they were doing. This was an inside job.
¿Qué es lo que parece? Hay logros. Bueno, vaya mierda.
The button bypassed the pressure pad system. Cutting the wire had disabled the pads. It was the speaker.
Bueno, cable cortado.
The pressure pad appeared to be working fine, but the cut wire had ensured that the alarm wouldn't sound when the painting was removed.
Eso es. Bueno. Cable cortado. A ver qué nos dicen del cuadro.
The stolen painting was called La Maledicción, painted by someone called L. Serp in 1937, and worth just 40 grand.
Solo, 40.000 pavos. A ver, hay algo más por aquí. Cuadro, no. A ver, esta puerta.
The door was locked with a keypad. The wires from the camera ran into the room behind. It must have captured the whole robbery. If I could get the code to the keypad, I might be able to shed some light on the crime.
Fíjate, tío, ni es policía ni es nada. Pero bueno, no sé cómo abrir el cierre electrónico, ya me dirás. A ver, me gusta. Vamos a ver si
That bust
mirando-
was pretty impressive. I wondered who'd been the model.
Angelina Jolie, de toda la vida. Bien. El padre Simeón, me la suda. Vamos a utilizar el perfume sobre el gordaco. A ver si lo despertamos.
The label read, "Awaken the beast within." Well, no harm in trying.
Bueno, ya está. Ah, se te cayó algo, te lo voy a robar. Ahora cuando le mires lo voy a coger, fijo. Ay.
What was that? It smells like the 70s.
Buena marihuana, ¿eh?
Where am I?
You fainted.
Vamos a coger el corto. Ah, seguro que está usado, qué asco.
The nail clippers were monogrammed with the letters HL. Hector Lane. They must have fallen out of his pocket.
Bueno, pues me lo voy a quedar. Toma por culo. Hala. Aquí. Sí, quédatelo. Muy bien. Ay, a ver qué nos dice este.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
I wouldn't exactly call this living. Don't just stand there. Get me something to eat. I've had a terrible shock, you know.
A ver, algo para comer. Pues toma, pizza fría. Toma por culo.
I found a slice of pizza.
Fijo que te la comes.
I asked for food, boy, not a cardboard simulacrum.
Oh, okay, if you don't want it.
I didn't say that. Now give it here.
A caras. A caras. Eso ahí. Traga, gorda, traga. Ay, ay. Oh, ole.
Given
Ole.
the circumstances, that was surprisingly acceptable.
Tú te jodes,
Now,
te has
what's been
desmayado.
going on? Oh, Henri, is he
Dead? Afraid so.
No, está echando
poor
la siesta.
chap? Just like him to steal the limelight, though.
Sí, ya. Seguro que es por captar la atención. Anda, voy a hablar con el padre Simeón. Simeón.
Father?
A ver, que dejo de rezar, niñato. ¿Qué quieres?
Yes, my son.
Ah, es verdad. Hostia, qué mítico, joder. A ver, vamos a hablar del
What
diablo.
did you mean when you said that a great evil had taken place?
Your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
What?
Peter 5:8. The devil is all around, Mr. Stobart.
Hostia, la Biblia no me nombraba. La Biblia decía Stobart.
Did Henri say anything before he died?
He said, "Stop the car, I want to get in."
What does that mean?
We may never know.
Detén el coche. Bien. Era un motorista. Perfecto.
What brought you to the exhibition, Father?
The painting,
Which one?
La Maledictio, of course.
The painting that was stolen.
I had to confront the evil.
Bien.
I think there's something strange going on here.
Fascistas.
Yes, Mr. Stobart. At last you see the truth.
No, Father. I mean that the robbery looks like an inside job.
The devil's work is always an inside job.
Y dale con el diablo. Joder, macho, si no se
A
puede.
wire in the painting's alarm was deliberately cut.
Cut by the devil himself,
Joder,
perhaps.
macho.
Well, as far as I know, sightings of guys with horns and tails have been a little down recently.
You mock me, Mr. Stobart. But as you will discover, the devil likes to have the last laugh.
Ya, ya. El diablo, el diablo. El diablo. Joder, joder.
Do you know the code to get into the office?
No, but you could always pray and ask for divine guidance.
With respect, Father, I'm looking for a slightly quicker solution.
¿Qué? ¿Que no te la va a dar?
What do you know about the man who painted La Maledictio?
El Serp. He was a man playing with fire, the fire of eternal damnation.
Era el diablo, el pintor. Hombre.
Tell me about the stolen painting.
Whoever gets close to it will burn in hell.
¿Y tú a qué has venido? Joder, vaya cura. Viene a ver un cuadro en el que se va a quemar en el infierno. Bueno, a ver qué me dice este, que ya le digo a ver. A ver tú, capullo.
Excuse me.
Do I know you?
Yes, our paths have crossed in the Glees Gallery.
Ah, la Galería Gris.
Of
La del-
course. The man with the absinthe.
¿Ves? Le metí
I
absenta.
don't suppose you...
Afraid not.
Pity. I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble remembering your name.
No te jodes, te metiste un
I'm
colocón.
George Stobart. I insured the exhibition.
I hope you have deep pockets then, my boy.
Could I ask you a few questions, Mr. Lane?
Fire away.
Mhm.
Did you know the gallery owner?
Of course. We worked together on the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Henri provided the space. I was the creative powerhouse.
How long had you known him?
As a friend, many years. Our professional relationship had only recently blossomed into this exhibition, under my curatorial wing. And now the poor fellow's gone and got himself killed.
If Lane was involved with the gallery, then he had to know the code to that door.
Eso es lo que interesa, el código de la puerta. Bueno, a ver, vamos a
Do you
ver
know
el logo.
anything about the stolen painting?
Of course, dear boy. La Malediccio, a little-known work, turned up at the last minute.
What about the killer? Were you able to get a look at him?
A delinquent in a tin hat. Beyond that, I don't really recall.
Oh, yeah, you fainted.
Qué cabrón. Ah, cierto que te
Those of us
desmayaste.
with a higher
Cobarde.
aesthetic are more sensitive to violence.
Lo que sois es unos maricones.
So you curated the exhibition? What's it about?
A brilliant retrospective. A dialectical window on European art's ongoing discourse with the unresolved psychoses of the nation-state.
Wow, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Venga, vamos a ver si
So
sabe el código.
you help run this place? Maybe you can give me the code to that door.
Aquí no me lo da.
The code to the office?
Sí,
I just thought you might have the number.
claro, claro.
I do, but I couldn't possibly give you access before the police arrive.
I figured I wasn't going to get the door code from Lane by playing nice. I
Borráchale.
needed to turn the heat up.
Amenazo con el corta uñas.
Are these your nail clippers, Mr. Lane?
Yes, they have my initials monogrammed on them.
Está bien. ¿Esto es tu corta uñas? Sí, no, sí, ¿verdad?
The
Mejor me lo quedo yo.
perfect implement for cutting the alarm on the stolen painting.
Ahí estás, ahí estás.
What are you saying?
Well, the alarm was sabotaged, Mr. Lane.
Ay,
It
ay, ay,
was an inside job.
Ay, 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 acúsale.
Are you accusing me?
Sí.
How dare you? I had no reason to kill Henri, no motive whatsoever.
No, matar no, robar el cuadro sí.
Okay, but I don't think the cops will see it like that. And I sure would like that door code.
Qué bueno. Venga, vamos a ver si nos da el código ahora.
How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
Ajá.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning.
Con el
How could I
cortaúñas.
have cut that wire?
Con el corta uñas. Ay.
This is an inside job for sure, Mr. Lane. The police are going to be very interested in your recent movements.
I've been out of town for several days, and last night I retired early.
Just saying.
Mentira. Estuviste
You're
de
not going to
putas.
scare me into giving you that door code, you know.
I was onto something here, and I knew it. Lane was sweating. It wasn't pretty.
Hay que insistir
How
más.
about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Venga, venga.
Certainly not.
Pues...
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
Bueno, a ver, se repite el diálogo.
I've been away.
El
An
cuadro.
unusual painting turns up at your exhibition and gets stolen. Doesn't look good, does it?
And your point is?
The cops are going to ask some awkward questions.
Eso, eso. Dame el código.
But you give me the code to the CCTV room, and I'll do my best to point them elsewhere.
I cannot let you into that room, Mr. Stobart. Besides, Henri found La Malediccio, not me. I had nothing to do with it.
Seguro que sí.
I hate to say this, Mr. Lane, but you're going to be the #1 suspect for this murder.
So you keep saying, Mr. Stobart.
Dame el código. Dame el código. Dame el código.
So you'd been out of town and hit the sack early last night?
That's right. I've not been near the gallery for days.
Mentira. Mientes.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
Sheer fantasy. What possible motivation could I have to sabotage the alarm?
Porque eres gordo. Pues a
How
la
about some
colonia.
more of this?
Ah, mira, esta es la manera. A ver, código.
I don't
Techo
think
colonia.
so. As a cell volatile, it was acceptable. As a cologne, it would be barbaric.
Así van estos juegos. Ah. Voy a echarle colonia. Cago por culo.
Ugh, keep that noxious potion away from me.
No, dame el código. Nah, a ver, tiene que haber alguna manera. Voy a mirar el cadáver otra vez, a ver si hay algo. A ver. Tiene que haber algo. No tienes nada en la cartera, no tienes nada, joder. Me cago en Dios.
Poor guy.
Pobre hombre, sí señor. Ah, los ojos, vamos a hacer los ojos, eso es. Ay, ay, como si estuviera sobando. ¿Puedo abrir la boca? No, no puedo. Ay, el
Hair
topé.
today, gone tomorrow.
Ay, 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 como si estuviera guapetón. Es que puedo colocarlo. ¡De fiesta! No, le voy a abrir las gafas.
I decided to let Henri's toupee rest in peace.
Calvo, peludo. Calvo, peludo. No, vamos a ponerlo guapo así. Ay, ay. El plan de, no está muerto, este hombre no está muerto.
I didn't want Henri's...
Bueno, a lo mejor. Le puedo echar. Oh, oh,
That was never gonna work.
oh. Pero no mancha de sangre, le echar la culpa, joder.
That was never gonna happen.
Bueno, por si despertaba.
I didn't need to look at the note a sec.
Bueno, pues ya está. Pues aquí no hay nada que coger, joder. Pues, la caja de
No
pizza.
one had noticed the pizza.
Nadie se
I
había fijado.
decided to leave it alone.
Bien hecho. A ver, no sé, tiene que haber algo más. Algo más. No sé si salir afuera, pero tendría que haber algo más. Así de primeras.
How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not.
Guilty by way...
No.
I've been away.
No, así que no. Voy a salir, a ver si hay algo fuera.
The street was quiet and upmarket. Not the kind of place for an opportunist thief.
Es esto.
I've
Óptico,
always been a sucker.
habrá algo por aquí, no hay nadie, aquí está dentro. No sé si por algún lado o no. Voy a ir para aquí a ver si hay algo. Ay, 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 ay. ¡Coño! ¡Hola, soy camarero!
Excuse me.
Monsieur?
Señor.
There's just been a robbery at the gallery.
Oh, really?
Sí.
You don't sound surprised.
Eres el
All
ladrón.
property is
Mientes.
theft, monsieur. And all art is property. Therefore, all art is theft. Do you not agree?
Well, when you put it like that, it's hard not to. Did you see anybody run out of the gallery earlier?
Joder, como ahorita de repente. Espérate, han matado
There
a
was a
alguien.
beautiful
¿Has visto a
girl
alguien?
with a camera.
Perdón.
She was chasing somebody.
That must have been Nico.
You know her? You surprise me.
Sí, me la follo
Can you
todas las
tell me
noches.
anything about the man she was chasing?
I assume, monsieur, that like all of us, he is inherently unknowable.
No wonder this guy's cafe was empty.
A mí tampoco. Eres un borde. Toma,
Would you
colonia.
like a squirt of this?
Are you suggesting I smell, monsieur?
Sí.
No, sorry.
No, perdón. Sí. Le entre líneas. Toma, córtate las
Do you
uñas.
recognize these?
They are nail clippers.
Muy bien. Ah,
The gallery owner, Henri, was shot dead trying to stop the robbery.
Life has no meaning the moment you lose the illusion of being eternal.
Right.
sí.
Did you know him well?
Claro.
Can we ever truly know another human being, monsieur?
¿Qué
He
le pasa a
spent
este
little
tío?
time at the cafe, unlike his friend, Monsieur Lane.
Cuéntame cosas del ley.
What do you know about Hector Lane?
Lane? Oh, yes. He drinks here sometimes.
Ve,
He
sí.
slid away last night without paying.
Ah,
Last night? What sort of time?
After midnight, for sure. If you see him, give him this bill and tell him to pay up next time.
bien, me sabía que fuera encontraría algo.
The check was from last night. But Lane told me he was nowhere near the gallery.
Te lo dije,
This
mentira.
could be the leverage I needed to get the office door code from Lane.
Claro, es esto. Venga, me la
Thank
suda.
you for your consistent indifference, monsieur.
Perhaps next time you come, I will give you a coffee. Perhaps not.
Hostia, qué jodidamente borde. Hala, venga. A seguir trabajando, chaval. Anda y que te folle. Ni por el sueldo mínimo te mereces un trabajo. Hala. Bien, vamos a chantajear. Primero quiero ver... Bueno, no, vamos a chantajear.
Take a look at this.
Take a look at this.
What of it?
Debe dinero, cabrón.
It's your bill from the cafe next door.
De ayer. Te ha pillado.
So,
It's dated yesterday. Last night, in fact. 12:30 to be exact. You said you were out of town. You sure drank a lot of champagne last night without paying the bill. But you told me that you were away from Paris last night. I hate to say it, but that sounds like a lie to me.
No, no, te ha mentido, te ha
Tell you
mentido.
what, you give me the code to the door, and the police need never know. A motive and proof of involvement. Not looking good, Mr. Lane.
you are a blackmailer, Stobart.
Ajá,
Just doing my job.
eso es.
All right. You have me. The number is 6397.
¿Cuál era? Que no
But
lo
I
miraba.
admit to none
No,
of these
797.
spurious accusations.
Bueno,
I had the code. The police would be here any moment, so I had to work fast.
que nadie llamó a la policía. Corre, pon el código.
What was that number again? 642.
No, 6397.
Everyone, hold it right there.
Muy bien, entra. Oh, el sargento Bowie.
I am Inspector Navet of the Paris Serious Crime Squad, and I hereby declare this crime scene open. Closed. Now, nobody move, especially you on the floor. Move, I want a total lockdown. Nobody
Sargento
in
Bowie.
or out. Apart from me, of course.
Vaya napia. Unas minutos más tarde.
I needed to get back into the gallery, but a familiar figure was guarding the door. It was
Sargento Bowie.
Sergeant Mu. Our paths had
Bueno,
crossed
Sargento
before.
Mu, pero antes se llamaba Bowie. El doblaje era cutre. ¿Cómo te llamas? Bowie. Enséñale tu pase de prensa.
Here's my press card. Do you have a statement for the paper?
Yes, madam. Stay away from the crime scene and let the police do their job. And always leave a light on when you go out at night.
Siempre los consejos de Bowie. Deja las luces de día cuando salgas. Ronnie, ¿qué coño es Ronnie? Bueno, voy a llamar a George.
Hi, George. I'm outside the gallery.
Thank God you're safe, Nico.
Inspector Mu is out here and he's not letting me in. I managed to grab a couple of photos, but the guy got away.
Poor Henri is dead.
Claro que ha
I
muerto.
know.
Claro,
I
lo sabe.
kill him.
Yo el disparo, tonta.
I've been trying to find out. Turns out the alarm was tampered with. Looks to me like an inside job.
So, no ordinary robbery.
And no ordinary painting. The priest claims that La Maledicio is evil. I need to get into the office and see what the CCTV has to offer. Maybe you could help me out when you get back in here?
Bien, a ver cómo entro. Voy a llamar a el Ronnie, que no sé quién es. Será el jefe. No sé. Ronnie.
Ronnie, I'm at the exhibition over in Montmartre. You won't believe the scoop I've got.
You're kidding me. That place is a dump. What could possibly have happened to make it exciting?
A painting's been stolen and the gallery owner's been shot.
What? Okay, speak to anybody who saw what happened. Scope out the place. And call me as soon as you get a story. If you're quick, we could make the evening edition. Bye, Nicole.
Muy bien. ¿Te acuerdas?
This could be the scoop I'd been waiting years for.
Ahí está. La gente muere, da igual. Lo que necesitaba es una primicia. A ver, Moway.
Sergeant Moo, we meet again.
Aha, Madame Collard. An unexpected pleasure.
I was in the gallery at the time of the theft. Can I get back in?
I am sorry, but I am under strict orders from Inspector Navet. Nobody in, nobody out. And I must correct you, madame.
Nobody out.
It is no longer just a theft. It is a murder.
Ahora es un
Mon
asesinato.
Dieu! That poor man!
A ver.
Who is Inspector Navet?
The most promising young investigator on the force. A genius. A man blessed with almost superhuman insight.
He sounds highly perspicacious.
Madame, it is not for us to talk about the inspector's sweaty proclivities.
No.
He is about to solve his third case in as many days.
So, what's he got that the other investigators don't have?
Blood spatter. He is the world expert. He reads the entrails of the crime scene like a book.
I really need to get into the gallery and speak to Inspector Navet.
Tut tut. He is not to be disturbed.
Then that.
He is applying his famous scientific methods. Any moment now, the case will be cracked. I certainly hope so. I am dog-tired and want to go home.
Why are you so tired, Sergeant Moo?
I have been working for 3 days with no rest. Navet is a genius in his field, and he assumes that we all have his energy and vigor.
Oh, you poor man. If you'd like to go and get some sleep, I will watch the door for you.
That's very thoughtful of you. Ha! A cunning attempt to make me a deserter, madame. A gendarme never leaves his post.
Casi.
Well, how about a hot drink?
Ah, that would do the trick for sure. Unfortunately, I mustn't drink on duty. My doctor specifically warned me against it after the last incident.
Vamos a ver qué pasa.
That incident you mentioned, what happened exactly?
I don't want to talk about it. All I can say is it was very unfortunate. I am on duty, and I need to focus.
Ay, estás dormidito,
I witnessed the crime. I've got to get back in there.
I'm sure you can make an official statement in good time.
I saw the thief. I think I can help the investigation.
I am implacable, Madame Collard.
I chased after the shooter and got a photo of him.
Inspector Navet will be delighted.
You've got to let me into the gallery to show him.
Absolutely not.
Joder.
So, I cannot go in without Inspector Navet's permission?
No.
And to get Inspector Navet's permission, I need to go in.
Exactement.
Have you ever heard of Kafka, Sergeant Moo?
Madame Collard, I do not see what soccer players have to do with this.
No, he's a... Never mind.
Déjalo.
This was madness. Sergeant Moo wasn't going to let me in.
Vamos a pedirle... a
Thanks
ver.
a lot, Sergeant Moo. You've been so helpful.
Muy bien. Vamos a pedirle a George a
I
ver si...
didn't want to call George again. I had nothing new to talk about.
Pedirle permiso para que dejen entrar o algo, joder. Ay, me cago en Dios. Me voy a dar una vuelta. Me voy a tomar un café. Coño. Ahí está, el camarero borde de mierda. A ver, tú.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Whatever it is you want, we are closed.
Pues
Then
estás...
why are you standing here?
Eso mismo.
You would not understand, madame.
Try me.
Because I look at you and I know you are like all the others.
Todas putas.
The others?
Todas putas.
The pretty women who shop, who gossip, who have their spa days, their almond croissant.
That bad, huh?
And the men with their grooming products and their shiny shoes and their skinny suits who come to my cafe and ask me for lattes, macchiatos, frappe.
I see your point.
Is this what we fought on the barricades for, madame? Ripped up the paving slabs, bled on the streets.
Vive la France.
No, madame, it is not. We fought for ideas, for philosophy, for freedom, equality, fraternity.
Vive la révolution.
And do you know what drove us on as we fought? What fueled the streets of Paris in that glorious spring? What made our hearts soar?
Cheap wine and free sex?
No, madame, no! It was French Café Noir that inspired us. The simple demi-tasse, the black, sweet taste of freedom.
So that's why you're closed?
Yes, madame. I serve only thinkers, philosophers, revolutionaries. And you, madame, with your polite top and your pointy ears, are none of those things.
This is a cafe.
Yes, to the right people.
On any other day, I would have given this guy a straight one to the chin. But there was a chance he could help me get into the gallery.
A ver.
Monsieur,
Hola. Hola, ¿qué
Life
tal?
is fleeting,
Zorro de
madame.
los cojones.
The sands of time are running through your fingers.
well, that may be, but
We know not what we want, and yet we are responsible for what we are.
there's been a crime.
That is terrible, madame. But you know what they say.
No, but I think you're going to tell me.
Life begins on the other side of despair.
Joder, puto filósofo.
C'est vrai, no?
Sí, sí.
Well, I guess so.
Yes.
He was pushing me to the point of despair.
Qué pesadilla.
During the riots, we battled the forces of oppression.
Joder, macho.
Oh, really? That must have been terrifying.
It was. Except that they made me stay behind the barricades with the other baristas. We made coffee by the liter to fuel the resistance. I've never brewed so much coffee. Of course, our brave heroes spent half their time going for a pee. But with our coffee inside them, they fought the running dogs all night long.
None of this was helping me get past Saint-Jean-Mou.
Au revoir.
Perfecto. A ver. Vamos a ver, decirle que soy periodista, a ver si le mola.
Here's my press card.
¿Lo ves? Ya no lo ves.
La liberté. Madame, you are not the person that I took you to be.
Ahí está.
You must accept my deepest, my most profound apologies.
Las acepto.
Well, of course I accept. But why?
La Liberté, the great journal of freedom. At the height of the battle, as the tear gas blew and the blood flowed, it was La Liberté which carried the voice of our revolution to the world. I know now that you are not the kind of woman who would ask me for almond croissant. You are a true daughter of France, and I am your humble servant.
Bien. Ahí estamos. Esto es lo que me va. Venga, a ver.
Monsieur,
Cuéntame algo que me mole.
The road to enlightenment is a long one, madame. Perhaps you will walk that road with me?
Hala.
could we have a little chat?
Hora liga.
Anytime, madame.
Bien. Dame un
How
café.
about some coffee?
Sí.
For you, madame, of course.
Hala.
There is only one coffee that I can serve you. Black, strong, and in a tiny cup. One moment.
Venga, pasa para adentro. Traigo un café. Ahí
Here
está.
is your coffee, madame.
Gracias.
Thank you, monsieur.
Toma, cafetazo. Está on fire ahora. Bien,
The coffee was hot and strong.
eso dijo ella.
Would you make
Eso,
me a
eso.
coffee to go?
Va a llevar.
For a fellow revolutionary? Of course, madame. One moment.
Lo lógico sería llevarle el café a Magüe a ver si pasa. Nah. Bueno, probar, lo de siempre. Típico de las aventuras. Ensayo y error.
Here's your takeaway coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur.
Eso, mete. Lleva el café en la chaqueta. Es lo surrealista de estos juegos. Venga, toma por culo. Adiós. Ahora voy a darle un café. Voy a darle café a este tipo. Venga. Café para llevar para el sargento Maui.
Sergeant Moo, I brought you a coffee.
Coffee? Fantastic. Just what I need. But wait. I must not. My little problem.
I'm sure one little cup of coffee won't hurt.
I am tempted, madame, but I cannot risk it. I am sorry.
So, this incident, it involved you, some coffee, and your little problem?
It is a tale of woe, madame.
I'm all ears, Sergeant.
Well, since you seem quite understanding, I shall elaborate.
Venga, cuenta.
Please do.
Venga.
I was in charge of canine security for the president himself. One day, en vacances, he went for a private discussion with a lady minister.
Sarkozy.
I stayed
Bien.
alone with his dog, but I had drunk a coffee to stay awake, and nature came to call. So I tied the dog to a tree and went for a secret pee-pee. When I came back, the dog was having a liaison dangereuse with the lady minister's terrier.
But how did they find out?
Well, 2 months later, the president's Labrador gave birth to 6 beautiful mongrels. And I was busted to sergeant just after the president's divorce came through.
You are a victim of a great injustice, Sergeant.
You think so?
But of course. You knew you must not fall asleep at your post. You were guarding the president himself.
Well, the president's dog.
Ah, it was the same thing.
Yes, I suppose.
And by drinking that coffee, you made the ultimate sacrifice for our glorious republic. Your career.
Now you put it like that?
And now France is calling you again. She is saying, drink, Sergeant Moo, drink.
She is?
She is. Drink or fall asleep at your post. Which is it to be?
I suppose it is drink?
Bien.
Bravo, Sergeant.
A ver, ¿cuánto vas a tener ganas de mear? Venga, venga, méate.
Oh dear. Oh
¿Ves?
dear. Excuse me, madame. I must use the petit gendarme's room. It has
Oh.
gone straight through me.
Corre, corre.
Could you watch the gallery door for me?
Sí, 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 sí.
Oh, you can count on me, Sergeant.
Muy bien. Oh, me de los
I
públicos.
distracted Moo. It was now or never.
Venga para adentro. Venga para adentro y entra sola. Ahí estamos.
How did you get past Sergeant Moo?
Dándole café que se mee.
Well, you won't fool me so easily, madame. I shall question you later.
Nico, am I glad to see you.
So, what's the problem?
The inspector's watching me like a hawk. I'll never get in without some sort of distraction.
I'll see what I can do.
Bueno, vamos a dejar aquí el primer episodio. Bueno, el primer episodio, el primer vídeo de Broken Sword 5. Hasta otra.